everybody and welcome to day 2 recap of Microsoft Ignite. Thank you to everybody that tuned into yesterday's recap. I think I watched back and I looked super excited, and I mentioned super excited quite a few times, but thank you to everybody that tuned in, and hopefully that video was useful. I'm going to be doing the same in this video, and I'll hopefully do another one for day 3 tomorrow as well, and then resume my normal program, which is a Friday weekly update covering the Azure news and some of the things that I've been up to. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe to this channel and make sure you check out what content I'm producing. So in terms of Azure news, or news actually from Ignite, to be honest, it's not just Azure news we've had. There's a lot from still day 1 that I want to cover off, and I'm going to cover some of the things that caught my eye. So I've actually written down what I'm going to tell you here because it is a bit complicated and I want to make sure I get it right. And there probably will be a blog post from me in a few days' time around this, because I think it definitely needs a wee bit of clarification and some pointers on where to get some of the information. So we've had some products being renamed, and let's go through what those products are and what their new names are. So Office Advanced Threat Protection is now Microsoft Defender for Office 365. Azure Advanced Threat Protection is now Microsoft Defender for Identity. Microsoft Defender Advanced Threat Protection is now Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. And Microsoft Threat Protection is now Microsoft 365 Defender. So yeah, those products have had a rename, and like I said, I'll probably try and do a blog post and make sure that we all are aware of what's happening and where to find out the latest information about those products. Now, I actually had the chance to speak to someone who deals with Microsoft Defender for Identity today. Ricky is based out of the Scotland office here, and he has been looking after that product. And I managed to rope him into doing a little 15-minute interview during the live stream at Ignite. So I got to bust some myths with Ricky. And if you didn't catch that session live, I hopefully will be available on demand if it's not already available on demand, and you can catch up on that. It was a really good session, if I do say myself. I also had a second live session, so I had an interview with Brian, who is our general manager at Microsoft, covering energy and sustainability. So we had a great chat about what we're doing for our data centres in terms of renewable energy. I even asked them about Project Natick, which is the underwater data centre that's been submerged off the coast of Scotland for the last couple of years. And again, that session, if you didn't catch it live, will be available some point on demand. So definitely look out for those sessions. Now, getting back to the news in terms of the recap, there's some things that I want to pull out. So we saw a lot of news around Teams being announced as well at Ignite, and something that I'm excited to be able to use within meetings in the future is the new scenes that we're going to see for Together mode. Now, hopefully you've all had a chance to look at Together mode. It's the mode where it turns everybody's camera into a kind of auditorium background, and we're all sitting there like it's a lecture theatre, which has been great for some of the larger meetings and being able to see everybody on screen. What we're going to be seeing in the next couple of months is new scenes for that. So seeing some of the ones, and it's people sitting around a dinner table or a meeting table, and then maybe an auditorium outside. So lots of variety, so it'll be exciting to see those coming for our meetings as well. Now, something else I want to talk about, and it's not necessarily Azure news, it is Microsoft 365 Lighthouse. Now, you might be familiar with Azure Lighthouse, which helps our managed partners manage all their customer environments from really one place. And it's great for saving some of those time-consuming jobs and allowing you to do other things as well. And that's what Microsoft 365 Lighthouse is actually going to be able to do. So instead of having to, sign into an in-private browser and log on to someone's tenant if you need to reset a password or delegate access to a mailbox or a OneDrive account, you can now do that from one place within Microsoft 365 Lighthouse. So I know our managed partners and IT partners will be excited about this. So I'll post some links to grab some more information about how you can get access to some of these preview features. Now, a session I do want to call out as well that happened yesterday was an interview my boss, Rick, did with the CTO of Azure, Mark Russellovic. And it's a bit of a geeky session talking about some of the data centres and some of the projects that Mark has been involved in. So if you haven't checked that out, it's available on demand within the session scheduler at Ignite, or I'll actually post some links in the blog in below as well. So tomorrow I have a lot of sessions coming up. I have 2 more live interviews. I have an interview around Azure Migrate and migration, which is my favourite subject. I also have a live interview around real world architecture, where I'm going to be talking to my guest about Cloud Adoption Framework and the well architected framework as well, so that'll be exciting. And the big session that I have is a dual session where I'm presenting with Thomas, my colleague, and the session is called IT Operations in the Cloud World. So Thomas and I are going to be talking about how you can transition from being an on-prem engineer to the cloud, or even if you are looking to change and go into IT as a career. So we'll be sharing our tips and hints and our journey and our thoughts around all of that, so definitely check that out. And if you can't make our session, the session is also being delivered by our colleagues in the US, so Pierre and Anthony will be delivering the same session in a US friendly time zone live, and my colleagues in Australia will be doing their version of the session live for the Australian time zone audience as well. So lots of opportunities to catch that session. But thank you for tuning into this video. Hopefully it's been useful to recap some of the things that's happened today, and I will catch you at Ignite tomorrow. See you later.